Andy, obviously at this point you don't need a certain number of snaps or something in a preseason game, but are there some specific concepts or anything that you just want to get the feel for before you check out?
Yeah, I mean, I think just kind of get back into the flow of it. Obviously, I feel really comfortable with everything that we've got in. But I think, you get out there, you just try to get in a little bit of a rhythm, and then we'll see how long I'm actually out there.
After going against the Bears defense for so many days in a row, how much of a litmus test is it, even in practice, and then obviously playing the Dolphins in the preseason?
I think it's fun to get these opportunities to go against a different team, and it comes at a good time. You feel like you've been going against the same guys over and over and over again, going against our defense, and now you get a completely different style, going against different looks, and so I mean, it comes at a good time.
Both Matt and Alan talked last week about the level of advanced conversations you're able to have with Alan because of your collective experience. I'm curious from your vantage point, what's that been like to connect with Alan, to be able to talk through routes and little nuances within them?
Yeah, it's been great. For me, I've obviously watched Alan throughout his career, and to see what he's been able to do, and now actually getting to firsthand see how he works, how he operates, to talk through how he likes to run routes, when he's expecting the ball to come out on certain timings on these routes. So, I mean, it's been great, just the communication that we've been able to have. I mean, that's what we've got to have this time of year. And I think, it's so nice for both of us. We've played a lot of football, so we can talk through different looks, and I think we both understand what we're expecting to see.
Does it feel invigorating you to have a guy that you guys can kind of bend back and forth with each other and be flexible to make it work?
Yeah, it's been great, and I think that's one thing. Alan's such a good guy, and he studies the game, and he knows so much football, and he cares. He wants to be really good, and that's all you can ask for. A guy with his talent. I mean, you take that talent and you add that onto it. I mean, you can see what he's been able to do since he's been in the league.
And that's it. The Dolphins challenge you today, I guess, in some of the things that were probably different than what you've seen in practice the last couple of weeks, and just how do you think you handled it?
They do a good job, and there's a lot of just in your face man coverage, and expect you to go out and win. And I think it's great for our guys to get that. Like I said, getting a chance to go against different people, different team, different guys in front of you, and you expect to go get your job done. And so, I thought we handled it well. There's times that we wish things that we could do better, but this is practice right now, and we'll look at the tape and we'll improve from it.
And that said, that yesterday you had your only mental error of camp so far. Were you aware of that at the time? And then how would you describe what the process has been like to get to this point where you know this system as well as you do?
Yeah, I'm frustrated. I forgot to send a motion. That was my mental error. And when they told me that was my first mental error, I said, well, I expect to not have any of them. So it's one too many. But, yeah, I mean, I think just being comfortable with the offense and the amount of time that I've spent making sure I know the ins and outs of what we're trying to do. And so, yeah, it was my mental error. And, like I said, one too many.
After Allen and Darnell, have any of the wide receivers sort of caught your eye through the 12 practices now or so?
For sure. I think we've got a really good group. Adding Marquise Goodwin and Demir Bird to this group, there's two guys that can have a ton of speed. And we got Mooney that can go. We got Demir. We've got Marquise. These guys that add a different level of speed, I think are going to be big for us. So I mean, I feel like we've got a really solid group of receivers.
Andy, last time we talked to you, I think you were talking about your rookie year, about how you played a lot, about how reps was the way to do it. Do you appreciate that there are different ways different coaches try to get a rookie quarterback ready to go, and that what worked for you may not work for the next guy, may not work for the next guy?
Yeah, I mean, there's all different ways of doing it. For me, I was fortunate that I was able to play as a rookie. There's different ways that, Aaron didn't get to play his rookie year. Mahomes, he didn't play his rookie year. So, I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but there's other guys that just step in right away. So, I mean, there's all different all different ways to handle the rookie year for the quarterback.
Andy, when you were a young player transitioning to the NFL, what were the things you had to learn about calling a play in a huddle? Whether it's, projecting confidence, visualizing the play. What goes into that at this level?
Yeah, I was fortunate because I was in a huddle at TCU, and so I called plays. Now the words were all different, but I called plays the way that you would call it in the NFL. So TCU really prepared me for that. So I was used to being in there with everybody, talking to them, making sure everybody knew exactly what they needed to know, and when you called the play. So I was fortunate that I had that.
Andy, Coach was telling us about those foam things around some of the linemen's helmets.
Cool,
that
don't
have.
they?
Yeah, he said that it's just something they're testing out. My question is what you think of them, because sometimes they can protect a quarterback's finger on a throw, and what is their specific name? What are they called?
I couldn't tell you what they're called. So, I think it's just another form of protection. And, if somebody does get close, hopefully, it never happens. But if you were to come down on a helmet, it should be softer, I would think.
What was it like having Alex Smith out there today?
It's been great. I've been around him some throughout the years. I was at a Pro Bowl with him, and so it's fun to just have him around, and just to kind of talk through things, kind of what he sees on some of our plays that we're running, and also just talk about life and just how things are going. So it's been really cool to have Alex here.
Andy, what stood out to you about Darnell Mooney so far on and off the field?
Yeah, I was talking about Allen just wanting to be really good. Darnell has that exact same mentality. He wants to make sure that he's doing everything the right way and everything that he can to be the best player. And a guy that we've been able to, use in so many different ways. He's a guy with speed. He can, he's quick. He's got it all. And the best part about him is he wants to be great. And so I was talking about everything that I've been doing with Allen and just the communication. It's the exact same with Darnell, just making sure we're on the same page with everything that we're doing.
What do you want to see from yourself in 8 to 10 plays or whatever it is on Saturday? Is there anything you want to check off that list?
You just want to be efficient. While you're out there, you want to make sure that guys are getting in and out of the huddle. You're able to get up to the line. You're able to just execute the offense how it's supposed to be run. And so, I think that's the biggest thing is you just want to be efficient out there.
Andy, you've had Sam snapping you the ball for every single practice, but every other position has been sort of a revolving door of guys. What's that been like, just trying to operate behind a line that's had no continuity at all for 2 weeks?
Yeah, obviously injuries are tough, and we've had some guys go down, but I think in the long run it's going to make us better, where guys are getting opportunities in other spots, and we're seeing what we have in everybody. And so, it'd be nice to say, all right, we've got our 5 guys out there, and that's our guys that we're going to be rolling with, and they're in their spots, and they know exactly, we know exactly who that's going to be. But like right now, just with everything that's gone on, guys are having to move around, and so, I think we're finding out a lot about what we have up front.
Andy, how do you go about working with a center for the first time like Sam?
It's been really nice working with Sam because there's the communication of one taking a snap. That's the thing that you don't want to have to think about. Just making sure that where you gotta have it so you can get the snap easily, and then just the communication that we've got, working together, making sure we're on the same page with all the calls and everything, and Sam's been great.
How much do you plan on being involved with Justin when he's in on Saturday? When he comes to the sideline, things like that, do you plan on kind of going through things with him like the way the coaches are?
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches will do stuff, and I'm sure I'll be saying stuff too.
Coming from, spending most of your career in the AFC, what do you know about the NFC North and about the 3 opponents you're going to play? And when do you start studying up on that a little bit? Is it in the off season? Is it as games get closer? Just to kind of know what the strengths and weaknesses of those defenses are.
Yeah, well, I've watched a lot of football, just throughout my career, and just I know the opponents. In Minnesota, Zimmer, he was in Cincinnati for a while. We've got 2 new coordinators in Detroit and in Green Bay, so we'll see kind of their style. But just knowing personnel now, that obviously haven't played against these guys very much, but obviously the guys here know personnels and know who's going to be out there. So I mean, I'll watch them as we get closer to playing them, but I mean, I have watched them just from afar.
Andy, what's it do for you having someone like Cole, just his size, his athleticism, just you drop back to pass and you're able to kind of find 85? What's that kind of been doing for you?
Cole's done an unbelievable job, and you know, I obviously didn't get to see what he was as a rookie, but everybody said that he's made a ton of strides this year, and a guy that just a big target, and a guy that you feel like can match up versus safeties versus linebackers versus whoever's out there. And so, I mean, it's been fun to see just his progression. And when talking through how we want to run routes, and then to see him do it and we execute, you know, it's been great.
Andy, with the personnel you have, with the tight ends, the backs, the receivers, how much do you think it allows you guys to sort of play chess and create matchups going forward through this?
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I said from the beginning. We want to be versatile. We want to be able to put different personnel groups out there and to use all the talent that we have. So, you know, I think that'll just kind of be part of how we game plan and trying to find the best matchups that we can.